I have been craving my mother's chicken and dumplings for a couple of weeks now, and the weather here in Florida has been so cold, and it's like the perfect time to make my mom's recipe. But my mother never wrote down a recipe for her chicken and dumplings, and she also never really measured anything. So even if she had written it down, it probably wouldn't be very helpful. So I am gonna attempt to recreate her chicken and dumplings, and we're gonna head to the store and get some ingredients. And then we're coming back here to do some cooking. Stick around. Let's see if I can recreate a memory that I have in my brain of my mother's chicken and dumplings. Back home, it's time to get everything ready. We're gonna chop up all our vegetables, gather all our seasonings, and build the foundation for a rich, comforting chicken broth. Once all the vegetables are prepped and I set them aside, we're gonna start by heating my Dutch oven up to a medium-high heat and adding in some olive oil. Then I'm going to season my chicken thighs, which I purchased boneless, skinless chicken thighs for this recipe. My mom used to make this same recipe, but she would use actual chicken legs and chicken thighs with skin on and the bones on. I don't want to have to pick through the bones and peel off the skin. It's not my favorite thing to do when I'm eating this, so I decided to go the easy way. Once the olive oil is nice and hot, we're going to go ahead and add in our chicken thighs, and we're going to start browning them, and I'm going to add a little extra seasoning to the opposite side if I didn't get everything coated with some salt and pepper. We're going to do this until all of the chicken is cooked and nice and golden, and then we're gonna pull it out and set it aside. Now all this burnt on chicken at the bottom of my pot, that is the flavor layers, so we're not gonna get rid of that. We're gonna add a little olive oil, and then we're gonna add our onions, and we're going to break that flavor down. It's all gonna come back up and it's gonna build like a depthness to the chicken broth. After 3 or 4 minutes, the onions will get soft and begin to caramelize, and then we add in our celery. We're gonna toss that in with the onions and get them nice and cooked and soft, and then we add in the carrots. Now that our mirepoix has mixed and is coated with all that deliciousness, we're going to start building our broth. This is my favorite for making a rich, deep chicken broth. It's better than bouillon. It comes in lots of different flavors, whether it's chicken or beef or vegetable, but this gives the broth a taste like it's been simmering and cooking for hours. Using all-purpose flour, we're going to go ahead and create a roux with a little bit of butter. So making a little section in the middle of our mirepoix, we're gonna melt a couple of tablespoons of butter. Then we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of flour. We're going to cook that down so the flour loses that floury flavor and just kind of absorbs all that butter and starts to cook in the bottom of my pot. We are in a low medium heat at this point. Now we are going to start adding in slowly our chicken base, which is the bouillon mix that we just made. Adding a little at a time as we let it absorb, and then we add a little bit more. So we do this several times until we get all of that liquid in there, but we have to do it slowly. This is important. And then we can also season along the way because we want to build up a delicious flavor in this chicken broth. We're increasing the heat here to about a medium high, and we're going to start adding in our creamy element, which is just 2% milk. We want to make a nice creamy base for our chicken and dumplings. Now we add back in our reserved chicken that we cooked earlier. We're going to give everything a nice stir and finish off with any liquid that we had left. Then we are going to cover and let it simmer. Periodically, we're going to check and give it a quick stir. Just make sure you protect your hands. That lid does get quite hot. If only you could smell my kitchen right now. It smells amazing. While our chicken mixture is simmering away and getting delicious and thick, we're going to make our dumplings. We are going to use Bisquick. This was my mother's recipe. She always used Bisquick. I just followed the instructions on the box as far as the measurements for milk and butter and a little oil. We are going to also add in some chives because I thought that would be a delicious little extra in my dumplings. Now remember, I've never actually made my mother's version before, and since there were no real recipes written down, we're just going to go with what feels right. What could possibly go wrong? The batter looked good. The consistency seemed right. My confidence was way high. You'll want to remember this. You'll want to remember this sentence. As I dropped the dumpling batter into the simmering broth, everything looked perfectly normal. Nice spoonfuls. They were going to be cute little dumplings, tiny fluffy pillows of deliciousness like I remembered my mom used to make, or so I thought. Apparently, I underestimated one very important fact. A little dumpling batter goes a very long way. Somewhere during the cooking process, my modest little dumplings transformed into absolute giants. We're not talking dumplings anymore. We're talking about flotation devices. These things had ambitions, but honestly, this smells incredible. It looks delicious, and by this point, there's no turning back. Despite the oversized dumpling situation, this turned out far better than I had expected. The broth was rich and comforting. The chicken was tender. The flavor brought back the memories of my mom's cooking. Would my mom have laughed at the size of my dumplings? Absolutely. She would have had a big chuckle about the size of those dumplings. Would she have been proud of me for even trying to attempt to recreate her recipe? Yes, I know she's proud of me. I can feel it. I felt her the whole time in my kitchen while I was making that recipe. I could feel my mom right there with me. And she had some mishaps of her own, so she can't blame me. I think this was an inherited thing with me making gigantic dumplings. Family recipes aren't always just about the ingredients. It's about traditions and memories and bringing that feeling of connecting with someone you love that's gone alive and keeping them alive, keeping them in your heart. And that's what this was about for me. So maybe next time I won't make such big softball-sized dumplings. Maybe I learned my lesson. So while this was maybe not an exact recreation of my mom's chicken and dumplings, it was delicious. It was comforting. It was made with love. And next time, maybe I'll make it with slightly smaller dumplings. Thanks for watching.